Hey there, quirky peeps! Today we're going to look at how Joss Whedon practically turned Justice League into a low-quality Avengers film. It's safe to say that there were plenty of similarities between Justice League and the Avengers. The main antagonist in both films was a cast-out, pointy-horned alien. They came to Earth to apprehend powerful cosmic cubes. They led an army of interchangeable alien soldiers against teams of 6 heroes. And there were other cosmic big bads waiting for their turn to attack Earth. Now these were generic similarities. But Zack Snyder's Justice League gave us a totally different story while these similarities existed. He and writer Chris Terrio added much more depth to the plot and the characters. But when Snyder was out of the picture, Joss Whedon was brought in to totally Marvelize the movie. He had already made 2 box office breaking Avengers movies. So he was asked to create a replica of the Avengers that would run for 2 hours, entertain the audience, and break the box office. Well, out of those 3 boxes, it only ticked 1.
No! This cannot.
Justice League ran for 2 hours and did nothing else that the studio wanted. With Whedon reshaping the film, Justice League became even more similar to the Avengers than it was. That's because Whedon brought his trademark tropes into a Zack Snyder movie. And the work of the 2 directors could easily be told apart. But because Whedon was not given enough time to complete the film, he actually repeated what he did with his 2 Avengers movies to get things moving in a quick pace. Before we look at every Avengers trope he brought into Justice League, I'd love it if you guys would hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. Okay now, let's look at everything that Whedon copied from the Avengers and Age of Ultron. The faceplant gag. Reading the title of this video, the first thing that would come to anyone's mind is the infamous faceplant gag. When Ultron first arrived at the scene, the Avengers were all busy with their get-together. Their meeting led to a heated battle, and in the midst of all of that, Whedon gave us this legendary moment. It probably wasn't even funny back then.
Sorry.
Don't turn green.
But no one laughed when Whedon actually repeated the same shot in Justice League with the Flash and Diana. What's crazy is that Gal Gadot denied filming this scene, so Whedon threatened to ruin her career and then shot the scene with her body double. That's why Diana isn't looking towards the camera here.
Have too much
A post-credit scene gag.
More important things to do.
One post-credit scene of the Avengers set up the future, while the other one played out as a gag. After fighting off the Chitauri army, all the Avengers hung out at the shawarma joint that Tony suggested.
You ever tried shawarma? There's a shawarma joint about 2 blocks from here. I don't know what it is, but I want to try it.
It was just for fun and didn't add anything to the plot. Whedon did something similar with Justice League's mid-credit scene. He altered Deathstroke's meeting with Lex and turned it into a setup for Justice League sequels. The mid-credit scenes was a gag where instead of having brunch, Superman and Barry spoke about brunch and raced each other.
Bruce said something about you having to take us all to brunch?
Oh, see, now that's cold. That's a betrayal.
Again, it added nothing to the plot, and we didn't even get to see who won. The escaping family.
Get underground.
Yes, sir.
The viewers were infuriated to see that Whedon moved a lot of character development for Victor and Barry. Instead, the extra screen time was used to develop a Russian family so that things would feel a bit relatable in the final battle. But did you know that superhero saving a family trope was actually copied from the Avengers? Whedon added a similar scene in the Avengers, but it didn't make the final cut. In the scene, a family was trying to drive away from the Chitauri aliens. But they were attacked by the aliens, and Captain America stepped in to save them. Well, Whedon couldn't add this scene to the Avengers, so he used the unused idea in Justice League. The conflict between leaders.
Genius billionaire playboy philanthropist.
After the Avengers took Loki captive on the helicarrier, they had a heated argument about Tesseract weapons. Everyone was arguing with each other while standing in a circle. But the highlight of the scene was Cap and Tony's feud. The 2 leaders of the team were ready to fight each other. Similarly, in Justice League, the team members were once again standing in a circle while discussing what the Mother Box could do. Then the argument began to heat up when Bruce suggested the resurrection of Superman. And it almost led to the 2 leaders, Diana and Bruce, fighting each other. You could also look at another parallel here. Captain America, a World War veteran, was about to take down a genius billionaire playboy philanthropist. And Wonder Woman, who is DC's World War veteran, almost punched the guts out of an eccentric billionaire. Objectifying shots. Well, let me rephrase the subheader. This point should be called objectifying butt shots, because Whedon specifically did that in the Avengers and Justice League. First in the Avengers, he used the shot which put our focus on Black Widow's backside. Then in Justice League, he did the same with Diana when Bruce and Barry arrived in Gotham. Once again, the angle he used focused on a woman's backside. We know that Whedon added this scene because it had slightly different dialogue than the Snyder cut. And here's what Whedon shot. This butt shot could have been removed, but Whedon had to put it in his trademark stamp. Do you want to know something even crazier? Ray Fisher mentioned that Joss Whedon accidentally kept referring to Diana as Natasha. I mean, he didn't even see the differences between Avengers and Justice League. The two teams were practically the same for him. The epilogue. Zack Snyder's Justice League had a long and brilliant epilogue that came from Dr. Silas Stone. But since Joss Whedon kept Silas alive in his cut, the epilogue came from Lois Lane. Her voiceover ran while the Leaguers went their separate ways. Now you might be thinking, how is this copied from one of the Avengers? Well, let me show you how. Whedon had shot an alternate opening for the Avengers. Here, the movie would have begun with Agent Hill reporting the Avengers' battle to the World Council. Then this scene would have continued in the end after the battle against the Chitauri. Her voiceover would have run while the Avengers would bid farewell to each other and go their separate ways. Ultimately, this scene was replaced with a conversation between Nick Fury and the World Council. So once again, Whedon brought an unused Avengers sequence into Justice League. Romanticizing characters. In Avengers Age of Ultron, Whedon forced in a romance between Bruce and Natasha. Most people didn't prefer that, and the later stories have been trying to keep that on the down low.
Hey, big guy. Sun's getting real low.
But Whedon did the same with Bruce and Diana as they got a cozy moment with each other. No wonder he kept referring to Diana as Natasha. He saw no difference between them. Anyway, I'm not saying that Snyder didn't try to pair up Bruce and Nat. But he did it very subtly, which actually reminded us of the Justice League animated series. But if Whedon would have got another go at Justice League, then Bruce and Diana would have definitely slept with each other in the sequel. Thank God that didn't happen.
Superman's a no-shit.
Unnecessary quips.
You got no powers, no offense. This guy might be working for the enemy, we don't know.
Now this isn't something that Whedon copied from the Avengers. He copied it from the entire MCU, where a tense scene is broken by a quip.
And for gosh sake, watch your language.
That's not going away anytime soon.
Some of them are insanely funny, and a few of them feel forced at times. But we've grown used to these quips because they are a trademark Marvel thing. Adding them to a Zack Snyder movie was just the biggest mistake. I mean, in what world would Batman ever say,
Oh, something is definitely bleeding.
or,
I don't. Not.
or,
Jesus. He is tall.
I mean, the guy made Batman smile like a little girl when Superman arrived. How crazy is that? These quips with Batman just made fans fill up with rage. Okay, these examples of forced humor bring my video to an end. I hope you guys agree with the points I've brought up, even if you preferred the Whedon cut. But anyway, do hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and go check out some more fun videos on our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!